There was an attack, was there? Looks like everything is okay right now. Nothing going on down there. Is it possibly over here? There was an alert, but it was something small. Okay. Any new husks around here? Possibly, actually. There may have been a new attack around this area. Okay. Can I remove these? That way. I no longer have to... I can easily see if a place is being attacked based on whether there are new husks around or not. Looks like the Yamako train is here. What's the spore cloud? Oh, the spore cloud is getting a little bit big, yeah. Alright. Well, looks like this place is doing okay. What is the current desire for new items? Rockets-wise, we're actually doing alright. We need more seeds. We always need more seeds, actually. That seems to be an endless cycle. Likewise, we want more bots. We've got a couple of things that we need. Maybe I should first set up a bit more production over here before I rush off elsewhere. Might not be the worst idea in the world. We should have enough gun turrets, though. Are we not requesting them? We are not. My bad. Right. Rocket bunker. There we go. I should have been requesting them. I was not requesting them. That's on me. The other thing is that I'm always shy on seeds. I'm going to increase this up to 30. That means it's going to request 3 separate stacks of seeds. Let's have a look. How full is the train? The train is doing alright. Train is doing relatively okay. Yeah, there we go. Mind you, in total that means there's going to be 6 different stacks there, which is not ideal. So the very least. Oh, interesting. Why don't you? Ah, there we are. There we go. You've loaded the turrets. Good, 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 good. This is what we want to see. We want to see this happening more. Alright. Happy with that. For now. For now, I'm happy. Are we producing this? We are not. And part of that is likely because not much copper wire on the line. If indeed any copper wire on the line, frankly. I can intercept. It's very mucky. I am absolutely aware. I don't need this though, because I'm making these elsewhere, so let's just get rid of that. And what I need down here is a simple... actually, no, I need copper on the other side. Copper wire production. I'll take care of the worst of it. Right. But I wanted to put together a laser turret factory. Smexy Vampire, you are onto something there. Always request more iron chest. Yes. The lack of train action in my absence. How dare. My train is working very hard, I'll have you know. Very hard indeed. But I do need more bots. I don't really want to... Relying on bots to get me bots is an unhealthy... a very unhealthy scenario to find myself in. You're going to need batteries. Don't worry, chat. You don't need to hate me for this. I hate myself. I say. But then I keep doing it. So at some point, you really do have to ask, like, is this hating of myself more of a comedic bit, or am I just stuck in a endless cycle of self-abuse? I'm really not sure. But clearly the hate, it can't be that strong because I don't stop. Right. Oh, there's a chemical plant for that, isn't it? Okay. Now, to make the batteries, I'm going to require sulfuric acid, iron, and copper. Pretty simple things. Now then, let's limit this to 2 stacks. I just need the sulfuric acid, which I'm going to need the sulfur to make. Am I making it anywhere? I don't believe I am. So... water I can connect up easily enough. Yep. We are fully back to the spaghetti. It's a little bit saddening, but at the same time, almost enjoyable at this point. Keep telling myself I'm going to make a proper factory, but then what is a proper factory, chat? Ah, there we go. We're making the batteries. We're making the lasers. Everything that we need to make the defenses is now being made, except for one thing. And that is the lights. There we go. Need ingredients. Yeah. Okay. Spaghetti is complete. Now it is time to fortify jelly nuts. Grab hold of your jelly nuts, chat. It's time to fortify them. In the absence of rocket turrets, a firm grip should do. Not too firm though. Jelly nuts are very fragile. They're also very temperature sensitive. Make sure your hand is room temperature before taking a firm hold of your jelly nuts. I do have both types of salt unlocked, yes. Okay. Though I stopped production of both types of solder some time ago, sadly. Why must you shatter my dreams like this? Vaccine. Okay. Don't get run over. Ideally. Why do you hate me? I need to find the position where I can make this work, but I don't think I can from here. Tragically. So I'm going to have to bring it all the way back. Yeah, I was on to you. Knew you were going to try and do that, scoundrel. Well, there we are. The tiniest of crossovers imaginable, but it will technically do. Unless I also had one here. Yeah, let's try that. Can I make that work? So I'd much rather if I could. Yeah, it looks like I can. Actually, that's going to have to move. That should work, though. There we go. Yeah, train blocks are 2x2. Yeah. It can lead to some frustrating symmetrical imbalances. It's not quite chiral symmetry, but it's not far off chiral symmetry either. Frustratingly. Now, for the time being, and this is a very temporary thing. Well, this place is going to need... do I want full surrounding over here? Probably not. I probably want something that's very similar to what I've got over there. You know what? I could easily stamp what I've got over there now. Actually, yeah, that's not a bad idea. What I was thinking is I could easily just grab all of this, stamp that, clonk it down, or even just effectively do the same thing as I've got here. And I've got one place that has all of this set up. There's not much of a reason not to. Though, I will say I don't want that there. Move that one. Oh, yeah. So, copy. There we go. That would be about right. Right, bit of a risky thing to do here, but time to remove all of this all at once. It's going to be an awful lot of work. Hey, Gethin, how you doing, mate? Not until we leave Gleber at the very least, which may be this stream or the next. But I was thinking about having a bit of a Factorio palette cleanser once we've left Gleber. I don't know. Chat, would you prefer me to just keep barreling through Factorio until the ripping and tearing is done? Or would you rather me earn my Variety Gamer card? At the very least, not pretend that I'm not the Variety Gamer. I'm cosplaying as a one-game streamer right now. It's an interesting existence, to be certain. Catherine is back from a nearly 3-hour-long walk with your dog. Oh, that sounds like an awesome walk. I had spaniels growing up. 3 hours was the minimal. And that was like 2 to 3 times a day. They have a lot of energy. And they need you to help them walk it off. They were also gun dogs. So they were used to working. They were working dogs. So, you know, 7 hours of walking, yeah, that's pretty normal. Corner is misaligned. Oh no, you're right. It is misaligned. The worst of times. There you go. Thank you, chat. Right. As a temporary thing, I'm gonna grab this. I'm gonna pop it over here, but it is ultra temporary. Like, as in genuinely ultra temporary. So I only want this there so that these will arm. I now want to throw a couple of these back in. I want to make sure that we don't get ultra stomped in the face before we're ready. There we go. Please don't run me over. Thank you. See, if I, for a second, stop saying please, I would be super dead. ever I had the audacity to not say please or thank you to the train gods for not running me over, that would be my forever from that point on. The train gods are cruel, fickle, often angry. There we go. Hey, Melissa Riddle, how you doing? Thank you so much for the 67 months. No star, I have it. My 2 cents on what to do after Glebe is I don't care what you play because I watch you for the entertainment value you bring to the games you play and not the games themselves. Noted, Nico Blazeman. Thank you very much for that. My dog is a couch potato, says Gutham. She enjoys her walks, but she will as easily lay down on a bed with you all day. My spaniels would enjoy, bedtime, but they also got, you know how some dogs get the zoomies and then other dogs get the zoomies. Our spaniels got the zoomies with the capital zoom if they did not get to burn off their energy on a nice long walk several times a day. Okay, we just need to wait on delivery of walls at this point. So well, let's go ahead and throw down the corner section over on this side. Oh, actually, first I'm going to have to... Ooh. I have made a mistake. That should have been a corner section. Bum. Go. Now pretty much we're waiting on the delivery of all the turrets, really. It's been 10 minutes. Head on everything and redesign it. Shh. No. Don't tempt me, Frodo. This morning, my dog was prancing and bounding with excitement at the idea that I was going to get up and let her outside to snooze on the porch. Dogs are wonderful. Yeah, working dogs are a different thing entirely. And, like, spaniels aren't even particularly high-energy working dogs. Like, if you got a collie or something like that, oh, my God. You need to walk a collie, like, with a capital need, basically. Collies can get, like, their health relies on it. Spaniels, I mean, being active is good for any dog. But, yeah, no, working dogs tend to just need to be active. And it's part of their breed, really. Their breed has been encouraged to be that. For a reason. Yeah, collies are like 4 walks a day minimum. I know people with spaniels who didn't need quite as much, as much time walking as ours did. Again, like I said, working dogs are different. They thrive on being active, and it's good. It's good to encourage it. But yeah, no, collies are, yeah. Which is any wonder why, you know, people have them as sheepdogs. massive tracts of land for them to go racing across. How far are you from artillery so you can strike preemptively? Well, I guess that's a Vulcanist tech, so at least one planet away. Everything was going wrong at work today, but as soon as I snuck Aavak stream in my earbuds, everything started going right. KN, I'm very, very glad to hear that. Not so much the part about me being involved, but I'm very glad to hear that your work is a bit more tolerable now. Okay. So, we've got something production of some things. How are we doing for walls? Not great. We need deliveries of stone. Our present stone production is woefully inadequate. Especially if I turn it all into landfill. So, to that end, this is going away. This one can continue producing. But I'm going to say give most of it to my production of bricks. Also, please make that a request, a chest. I'll do a little bit better for us. Yep. Well, the walls are going to take quite some time to get sorted, but if we can at least get... I think I'm probably going to go for a very similar design that we've got over here. I'm just going to go around. Kind of more like a horseshoe than a full perimeter. Again, because if things are behind this base, then we've got other problems to worry about. Chonky ones, in fact. But the other issue is that, realistically, kind of want this stone now. Yeah. That'll do. And I think I'm just going to remove this. We'll end the iron production just a little bit earlier. So I can gain access to these resources. Tad bit irritating that I've got them in this orientation, but that will at least work. Right, let's start plonking down some more miners then. I'd like this to be mined quickly, so I'm going to go... Oh. Yeah, no, that's fine. Let's pop down this in the middle. Is that running on blue? It is running on blue. Interesting. I likely have enough to run this whole line. Yep. There we go. Right, we'll make use of what remains of this area. Soon enough, my hope will be to set up importing of stone from one of the other mines. We did earmark a location just down here. Is why we set up the farm here, is so that I could hit this stone quarry. Hey James the Dabbler, how you doing, mate? And thank you very much for the 40 months. Am I letting chat vote on the next part? I will be, yeah. Why? I mean, you know, they couldn't make it worse than when they voted for me to come to Gleba first. So at this point, there's no reason for me not to give it to them. Unless they can. Can they? Can someone please confirm? Can chat make it worse? Should I be afraid? That being said, maybe I should just stonk and build this up and around. Actually, no, there's no point. I haven't even finished this out yet. There's 0 point in me doing that. Honestly, it would be better for me to go and set up another... the mining base for the stone. I don't think we're going to need it, though. 82k there. Well, maybe. There's a possibility that I should do that. But for the time being, I'm not going to worry too much about it. We've actually got concrete production. Why am I making this much concrete? I don't know. I guess I'll leave it for now. To be fair, I suppose I'm not really making that much concrete. Because this is not a requested chest. I can afford to make it one now. I'm not going to specifically bring ore over. You can just have access to the ore that's just lying around in chests. Alright, well, if that's the case, then I could go ahead and set up the other farms. Now, again, there are only a couple of places which would be really... Ooh, that's not a bad one right down there. It's quite far from anywhere else as well. You would be able to make use of this line. Whereas going over here is gonna be a potch. Guess I could come through here. But realistically, I would more likely head down this way and across. I could head through here, for example. Most of the way, actually. And then head up. Across. Up. And then park in somewhere around here. But down here would more or less be a straight line. Just branch off here. Keep on going down. That one might be the better one. How about we go out and stamp down a radar? If I were to place a standalone radar installation right there, then that should give me plenty of information about that as a potential farm site. Might give me some decent information about other nearby sites too, to be fair. Would I want to do that? Oh, that one's got plenty of expansion around the place. Oh, off we go. Aavak and Cancun, off on another whirlwind adventure. Hey Akira, how you doing, mate? Another chunky bit of stone down here, actually. Is this a better place for a stone mine? Oh, yeah. Maybe we do come all the way down here to set up a stone mine. Oh, yeah. Now then, small... Well, I mean, I could remove that easily enough. It's a relatively small spot, though. Don't think I would fit a whole farm there. Realistically, this is probably a much more viable location. I mean, ultimately, with time, you can do that with any place once you've got overgrowth soil. But I'm quite far away from realizing that dream. That involves all kinds of shenanigans, getting stuff back to Nauvis to set up biter nests. Akira says, exhausted, bleary, but glad for an Aavak stream. Well, I'm very glad to be here for you then, mate. Yes, I was driving through those on purpose. Yes, it was as satisfying as you imagine. Wow, that was actually... I've not seen them be able to damage my shields before. Actually, we should swing back around and check out the outpost. Alright, let's have a look. What priority are we? This may well be the more pressing priority now for our supply train. Yes, it would look like that. Oh, never mind. That one was visited first. Huh. Weird. I would have thought that they would have gone here. This one has a priority of 11 at this point. Peculiar. Oh, sorry. No, that's the jelly nut. Wow, is the train not needed to come for more jelly nuts in that much time? Oh, well, yeah, I guess. I mean, they last for an hour, so... Huh. Maybe I don't set up another jelly nut farm then. If the jelly nuts that we've got... Oh, what am I doing? If the jelly nuts that we've got are basically rotting in the chest, then I would say probably not. And once again, we're just out of this. You know what? I'm going to tell these not to give priority and to instead... Because every time this rots, it all just breaks down. And obviously with the ones that's the only place it goes that uses it, that's fine. But with the others, I'm simply going to say spread it evenly from now on. I have enjoyed designing these systems, but there are so many ways that I would improve them now. I'm kind of looking forward to that part, if I'm honest. Right, not too many more walls to replace, but what about the turrets? Why are they being so slow? Blue circuits. Ah, yes. I haven't set up production of blue circuits. Alright. Or red circuits for that matter. So few classic red circuits, green circuits, plastic. Okay, it's not terrible. I can at least set up the red circuits fairly simply. So let's do that. Get proper red circuit production going. Red circuits, blue circuits can be on that side. It doesn't matter if it crosses. I'm fine with that. We want it to be about here. Alright, gonna want plastic. How many of each do I consume? Plastic and green circuits on one belt, and then going to want the production of copper wire as well. That makes 5 a second. Let's go for 10 then. Vaccine. So I'm going to want copper to come through here. .5 a second. This will easily be able to manage that. That's as far as I need that to go. Now can I? Oh, thank goodness. Alright, going to want this to be the closer of the belts. Simply because I'm going to need more of this. More copper coil than anything else. go. Realistically, there's absolutely zero reason why I should be using such a a bulk inserter over a regular blue inserter. No reason at all. How far back can I move this? Oh, perfect. That will do. Well, that gives me the copper core. And I'll just need plastic and green inserted. Green circuits. Doesn't really matter where I put the plastic here. I'll do. And then we want. Gonna be jank, I know, but. For that particular situation, I needed it to be a little bit to have the longer reach of that tunnel light. And this one, ooh, can I get it all the way over there? Oh. Ah, man, I can't. Might be able to do it from here, though. In fact, I can do that with just regular. Yep. And this will give us our red circuit production. It's a decent amount, I would say. And then on from that, we just need green circuits and advanced circuits, so I could run this down, or I could bring a fresh line. And I'm sort of feeling a fresh line. I'm not going to need much for these. I can't really fit much anyway. How much will this consume? Okay. If I wanted to produce it per second... oh my goodness, it's so awful. All of these would run just this. Which is truly, truly awful. Right, you're going to want to consume quite a lot of this belt, so let's do that. Actually, let's do this. Is that way I can do that instead? for Aavak being here to calm my nerves on a rather blighted day. Thank you, and chat as well. May you raise your libations for a couple of folks I know whom just went into ER. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, mate. I hope they recover from whatever it is without prying. Yeah. Also, I hope you don't need. It doesn't need to be too long before you get some good news and you can stop worrying so much about it. Hi, Erastic. Right. I need some of this. How much is that producing? 50 a second. I'm going to want 2 then. So let's set this up a little bit better. Probably shouldn't have done that, actually. Oh well, too late now. Sure, I'll pop that there. I may as well. Oh, actually, yeah. Huh. Awkward. Actually, if I get rid of all of that, then I can have a bridge there and there. Well, that only gives me one insert to work with. I can make this work. A bit ugly, but... And how much do they need exactly? They need 1 and 5. Fine. Now that actually won't provide me enough. Yeah, I'm gonna need to expand that even further. That's what to leave me. So before I let that get too out of hand. No, too late. Don't worry, I already spotted the problem. Yep. And then we simply bring it over here. Actually, I may as well do it like that. There we go. And there we are. At long last. Right, these will also need the green, which means... Ooh, are we low on power? We are low on power. they running flat out? I don't think they are. So let's just go ahead and copy this over. I'm not going to expand the Steam storage. I don't think that's particularly necessary. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to be there to make the heat pipes, though. Alright, let's head back. Also, what exactly has killed the power here? Yeah, it's just that... oh, maybe plugging in those 2 extra boilers. Oh, no, they shouldn't be connected to the system yet. That shouldn't really affect it. But perhaps? Oh, I can see. Yep. My bad. I want 2 of these, which is just as well, because that's all I can afford. I need a bunch of copper. Need a bunch of gears. And a bunch of heat pipes. Anyone else on team can't sleep right now? I imagine quite a few people in here on team can't sleep right now. That seems to be the norm for me. Okay, now we wait. Aavak accidentally disconnected most of the base from power. Such a thing never happened. No, never. Absolutely has never happened. Have I remembered to reconnect the solar station? Yeah, the solar station is connected. In fact, the solar station is probably why I didn't notice that there was an issue there. Is that really a blind spot? No, it can't be, no. Oh, I'm on map. Go. Well done for picking the most optimal way to not connect them. Wow. Rude. You hooked up those pipes in just the right way to make sure that I didn't get power until the very end. What a scoundrel. Sadly, does not look like we're getting there. So I'm gonna say 600. Also, if the carbon should get backed up, I'm gonna say I want to branch some of this off. Because this is just basically using up rot. And I can't imagine a time when I'm not going to want that to be the case. I don't want this to output this way as a priority. But if it can't, I should really build backwards. So let's go ahead and do that. That will bring us, I'll use a blue one here actually. But that will bring us carbon down here so that these can actually start filling up with it. But it'll only happen if I've got an excess of production. Which I should do most of the time. Realistically, at these points, I am producing bioflux for no particular reason. It occurs. I should probably just limit when this can run to when this needs it. With the exception of ones where I'm actually going to use the bioflux in some way. That is definitely an efficiency improvement that could be made. There we go. Loading these up. They should be able to keep the temperature nice and hot now. So ideally, we shouldn't be struggling anymore. How's Gleba going? I'd say shockingly well, but wrong planet. He keeps working his way out of disaster and freezing the competition out. Worming? What? How dare. Right. I need 2 more of these. These ones are running. Oh, you know what? I bet I know why that one is not working. I fancy that I've got 2 separate power networks here. I do. I'll poop. How did we let this happen? Yeah, there we go. Oh, good night, waterproof bubbles. You have a wonderful sleep. Always a pleasure to have you here in chat. Maybe I shall see you when you wake up. And hello, Belial. How you doing, buddy? Right. Now all I need to do is to deliver the green circuits, which I've run out of. Never mind. They're being made again. Honestly, I could just remove green circuits like this. Or I can just run this out and throw caution to the wind and be like, yeah, you know what? I don't care if a little bit of plastic is on the line. You hear me, chat? I don't care. I know. Mad, I've gone off the rails. Oh, never mind. I was going to do it in a different way. I was going to do it in this way. How do I get this to do? I can split it down here. We go. How's things? Things are good. And I am staying moist, yes. Right. Let's have a gander. Have we made much of any real progress? No, apparently. Oh, wait. I know what's happening. I do, in fact, know why we are not making progress, and that is because I didn't ask for turrets. There you go. I am now asking for turrets. Should do the same down here. Green circuits are not good, no. They're struggling. So now I've got enough iron, I'm not too worried about it. Just got back from a friend's birthday. Went to a barcade. Good pizza, cheap beers. Everything cost 25 cents to play. That sounds amazing. There's nothing like that nearby. There was a place, they didn't serve alcohol, but there was kind of a hangout along those lines, but it closed down during COVID. Very sad about that. There we are. Blue circuits are now being produced. So things are starting to move. Probably need to expand out my production over here. 3 a second. This consumes 5 a sec. Oh. Yes. Yes, I need to radically improve my production. Yeah. This would still only produce enough for 2. Produce enough for 3. Would not be enough, but oops. Alright, so let's grab a copy and horizontal. Oops. I need to remove that. Gonna need to find out exactly how large I'm making this actually before I start doing that. Sure. In fact, I'm going to take that one away and just hook these up together. And these can go all the way up to there. That's going to be the rot. We want to make this grab rot as well. Yep. Okay. Just need to hook up the spoilage now. Okay, that should work. Make sure all of these are running in the right direction, and they are. Now, problem here is that production, this was really only designed for these two, so I'd need another 2 for this, which would mean another 2 of these, which is actually only pushing this down by 1 more. But it's kind of annoying. I didn't think about that first. Do I? Yeah, I've got a little one. There we go. Still one inserter the wrong way on the build. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much for catching that for me. Right, I'm going to need to push all of this down. To make room for just a little bit more mash. Actually, no, I'm gonna need this to be no, that should work, but I'm gonna need to push it down the space of 2, sadly. Two. 1, 2, 3. God damn it. God damn it. Stupid rocket silo. I'm just gonna have to hope that I can make this work. It's going to be tight. Exceedingly so. go. And then I need to run this down at least as far as here. Draw a rot off this line. To get 3 of these ones is going to be a real pain. Especially because I'm going to need to draw resources off this section. There's only one way realistically I'm going to be able to do it. This is going to be an awkward one. It's going to be a very awkward one. Right, you need to be for rot only. That's fine. That'll eventually get burnt. Pull nutrients. And in terms of the bioflux, actually that one should work if I just... I need to use a long-handed... No, actually. That one should still work. If I do that. Yeah, that'll work. I use this to insert as well. It's going to put it on the wrong side of the belt though. Going to need to do that one in a different way. But here's where it gets tricky then, because I've still got to bring the mash and the jelly around. This is truly awkward. It's kind of a fun little puzzle to fix. I can probably make this work though. If I do that. Fit it around, pop that back on that line. Hate that. But it does work. Super dislike it though. For very finicky reasons, I know. Okay, let's just have those output at the back. That will genuinely drive me slowly insane, so I need to do it that way. The bioflux from this one won't get out there, which is a problem. But it's a manageable problem. Refuse. Will not allow. Oh, thank goodness it still connects. All right. This should now work. Why are you not outputting? That's because you've got none to output. Why aren't you loading? Because everything is in the wrong place. Now I remember why I didn't, why I wanted all of the fruit to kind of jam in one side, because if it's allowed in whatever order, it eventually gums up the system. Because I can't control where it goes anymore. Fruit jam? Ah, unintentional, but I'll accept it. On the plus side, this place has now been completed. Oh, nice. Very nice. Well, in that case, time for us to say goodbye to these offenses. At least as high up as here. And then we want a regular one around there. There we go. Hopefully they get all that sorted out quite quickly. They're going to need some more landfill though. They got enough? They do. Good. Love the view of different colours from normal stuff into spoilage. Gleeber's a pretty planet, to be fair. Gleeber's a really pretty planet. Not sure what the others are going to be like, but very much enamoured by Gleeber so far. Is that going to be a little bit too close? We're about to find out. Think it should be okay. Yes, only just though. But it won't work for the train. Oh no, I went for two. I went for two on the other side. You know what? I'll do the same here. Do the same here. Rather than have to deal with that. Tunk. Yeah, I went for... round two. There we are. That will be a great help. Claim as much landfill as I can that I don't need. Yep, don't need that. What happens if you can't make those things on planet? Well, I would need to import them. But I've specifically made sure that I can make all of these things on planet. The only thing that is a possible that I don't have is radars and roboports. I do have them in this system, but I might not have them being produced yet. So that's definitely something I would need to work on in that case. I'm going to go and offer my help. I have to try and thread the needle. Needle threaded. There we go. Rocket turrets armed. And gun turrets loaded. There we go. All coming together now. At this point, gonna strip this part down. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, the outposts have a stupid amount of bots. Considering. Right, now then. I can just as easily copy all of this now. Like. As I believe it's largely the same shape. Yep. That makes that a hell of a lot easier of a job. Sander says Gleba, Nauvis, and then Aquilo are the prettiest to me. Kayan says, I prefer Volcanus to Aquilo myself. There's a small lava lake with a unique colouring and shape. I called it the Devil's Eye on the community server. Did you leave a marker on it? I did not see it if you did. Yep, southwest of the hub. Okay. I will definitely make a point to check that out then. Where do I put the loader? I put the loader over on this side. You know what? I really, really would prefer this to be completely symmetrical, so let's do that. Tunk. And instead, empty this part out. God, I love the copying. That's so good. Yeah. Let's just make sure that that is correctly loading. It is. Oh, the big question is, can I fit the corner design in here? This. Or will that be the point where this fails? so close. So fantastically close. It's good enough. I would have preferred it if it did manage to completely surround it, but that's fine. Do I have enough to make a radar? I do. Actually, no, I did need that. Okay. And that will complete the system. Actually, how did I wrap it up? It was just the corners, so I could just take this out then. Okay. Gonna need a little bit more in terms of belts. We might actually be out of blue belts. Like out. No, we're not. So why isn't that being placed? Oh, I'm out of... I am out of landfill. That is a much easier problem to solve. Am I within logistics range? No. Should be now. Indeed I am. Okay. How's everything going over here? Iron is dried up again. Yeah, it's because... Yeah, okay. This is definitely causing me too many troubles. I'm going to say... Well, the problem is if this isn't moving, then the spoilage can't get out that system. But then again, I think it's just that I need to give it enough time to stabilize. Because once the system has had an opportunity to fully empty out, actually I can just copy this one. Once the system has had the chance to fully empty out the fruit and stop allowing it to cycle back into the system, and it should, by all accounts, mean that the fruit just doesn't get out of these chests if it's not needed. And additionally, only the fruit will always rot at the front of the line, because that'll always be the oldest fruit in the system. At that point, I can just do this. Don't need that anymore. There'll be nothing but spoilage here. And that way... actually, did I want that? Yes. Well... Yeah, I did actually. That way, spoilage always goes down this route, but if I've got seeds or something, that can still exit out in that direction. Now, it does mean that initially this is going to get back stuff because there's different spoilage times on the fruit that's in the system currently. I just need to work through it effectively. I just need to give it time. Nothing other than that. Just time. It does dramatically make bringing fruit into the system easier. Right, there we go. Actually, technically don't need that then. There's no reason to balance the lanes once it gets down here because any fruit that's left goes through this. All right, there we go. We are going to have a clog, a couple of them actually. So it is going to come down to just finding those clogs when we can, but otherwise we should be okay. Oh. It did get over here. Did it destroy anything? Yes. Did manage to destroy a gun. I would have loved to have seen that not manage to do that, but I don't know how much stuff attacked. I do not know how much tries to engage there. I'd like to, but sadly we don't. Though the other thing I could do is I could have lasers in these spots, but it's not really any reason to. I would very much have appreciated a proper look-see into that. Oh. I've got enough landfill, I think, to finish up the other defenses. Hey, Aavak, you still doing roughly 2 hours between breaks? It's been 4 hours and 23 since you started. Yeah, I am. I missed my first tea break by a little bit. I am 10 minutes off from my second one, though. Thank you very much for checking in, though. Because I missed the first one, the second one's a bit offset. Okay. Well, the turrets at least are up and running now down here. We'll see how that does. But these two farms are quite significant in their size. I'm not at all worried about strafers. I don't think they have enough to be able to threaten our defenses, really. Other things that I'm more concerned about. You know, for the ones where I don't need anything else, I could definitely just fit in 2 extra rocket turrets. I don't know. It all comes down to how much is too much. Obviously, taking any damage is a problem. I'd much rather be spending ammo than having to rebuild an entire turret. But There are losses that I'm willing to sustain. If I do need to, though, I can expand this out. How effective are landmines on Gleba? I honestly don't know. I've barely ever used landmines full stop, if I'm honest. I would require some steel plate and 2 explosive, but I could absolutely try it out. 250 plus 250 explosion. Yeah, sure. Okay, I'll see about it. Is that six tiles? So I just need to make sure that there's 6 tiles away from my walls. But I could do that. I could have a row of landmines out there. I mean, let's have a look at the stompers for a second. 15,000 health. I mean, the landmines aren't going to do a hell of a lot to that, but... Whereas a rocket is more like 500. Well, 200 regular damage and a 360 explosion. A landmine is... Ooh, what's this? Oh, is that tech? Yeah, it's tech, sorry. 252. It's not that much less, to be fair. Though it does consume twice as many explosives to make. So... And more iron plate, realistically, too. Oh, you get 4 landmines per craft. I do apologize for missing that, chat. Thank you very much for pointing that out. Yeah, I get 1 rocket and... Oh, yeah, you're quite right. You're quite right. Never mind, then it doubles it, more or less. Okay, well, I'm willing to give it a shot. Never say never and all that. Where am I producing my rockets? Over here. Alright. I'll be there. Only now you're making me landmines. One needs to be steel, and I'm gonna need let's not waste that. Let's grab a regular power pole and hook these up. If rockets are less than 200. If mines are less than 200. There you go. Alright. We're going to have to update the rocket bunker design to include mines. 200 of them. Hang on a second. Are these free place? Surely not. Oh, they are. Not sure I like that. I guess you can stack a lot of them, though. But I'm still not sure I like that. I kind of want to be able to work out how far away they are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is that diameter or radius, chat? Because this looks like a stupid radius. Oh, F4, that's right. Oh, Oh, right, I can just turn on grid, I guess. No, it's not really that important to me. Yeah, in terms of the distance of a mine's explosive radius, what are we looking at? Is that AoE the radius or the diameter? Because if it's radius, then I'm going to have to build them quite far from the walls. If it's diameter, then half as far. Well, kind of obviously, I suppose. But it feels like it's probably diameter. Otherwise, they are crazy, crazy good. But having never used them before, maybe it's just they are crazy good. And I've been sleeping on them this whole time. Who are we looking at? Okay, one thing was destroyed. Again, it was a turret. That doesn't surprise me. They're quite far forward. What was it that died, though? That was able to take it out? What on earth was it that got taken? I have no idea, but all right. I haven't paid a lot of attention to the blast radius. I use them mostly as an earlier game picket line between gun turret clusters. The north end had corpses, did it? Not seeing him. This is where the turret was damaged. Yeah, apparently it's just blind. But all right, let's go ahead and start laying down mines, because then I can effectively just copy it. That should be good enough, I hope. Yeah. The big question is, will these be automatically rebuilt when they detonate? That's the big question. Let's not mine the train. If I put mines even close to the train, I'm going to have to deal with the shenanigans that arise from the train getting hit by said mines. So we'll avoid that. No worries, Kane. Thanks for all the information on them. I'm particularly enamored by the information that they will stun enemies. That will be very, very useful. Very useful indeed. There we go. But if they will automatically rebuild, that will be big. That'll be very, very good for me. If not, a bit less useful. Again, though, I'm really not keen on the free build. That feels wrong somehow. Yeah, it's gonna suck. I need to go and clean out the food lines a bit. Previously, construction bots would replace mines, said Rose. And they're currently testing it out, or trying to provoke an attack in order to test it. Thank you very much. That's going to be super useful for me. Why? You know what? Let me go and see. Am I unloading them based on spoil time? Freshest first. So gradually they do spoil at the back. I should probably change that then to spoiled first. To make sure that the oldest is always at the front. Everything kind of is predicated upon the idea that the most senior items in the belt are always at the front of the belt. This is going to be, sadly, a constant problem. Okay, we got loads of extra defenses we need down here. Loads of mines to pretty much place everywhere. Okay. That's not too bad. Right. Chat. Time for another tea break, I think. Did anyone find a way to deactivate bots repairing and replacing items during attack? You have to control the roboports here. You could easily check for deployment of repair packs. You can also check, depending on your weapon systems. Actually, can you hook up a turret? Let's have a look. Can I connect that? I can. And when I do... set ignore target list, read ammunition. There we go. So you'd be able to read ammunition in the longest range turrets you have. Ooh. Okay, that was a diddy little attack there. Quite often I use flamers for that, because then I just read the tank contents, and if the tank contents is going down, then it means my flamers have engaged. And if that's the case, it means that my defenses are engaging an enemy. And as a consequence, I shut down certain things. You can turn off your roboports. Alternatively, you can have them turned off unless there is a request. Excuse me. And if there is a request for something like repair packs or something along those lines, like if you very carefully manage their access to materials, and then one of the roboports is requesting repair packs, then at that point you could activate power only if no combat has happened within a certain amount of time. So you can't circuit detect when turrets are active. No, not that I'm aware of. Okay, I just placed some mines next to the wall within 2 untriggered biters. The wall took no damage from these. Oh. Mines don't damage your own things? What kind of crazy friend or foe system do explosions have? The mines not going off is one thing, but the explosions simply not hurting you? What the dickens? Fair enough. Smart explosions. You have to use premium quality smart flames to have your smart explosions correctly identify friend or foe. Okay. Once this place is set up, I'm not going to set up the second outpost to have update its defenses until at least all of the walls are built over here, because there's no point at that point. I'm clearly, you know, I've got a massive dearth of some resource, so I should wait on it. God, it takes so long to make these. Alright. Well, we are chewing through the stone over here at an alarming rate. Doubling the fruit farm, I don't think is necessary right now. We've got enough fruit. And I'm very hopeful that these new defenses will be able to hold. So I'm gonna move this one down. We probably will eventually do it, but I'm gonna move that one right down to the bottom. State machine for loading and unloading is another possibility. Building an infrastructure mall, so belts, inserters, that sort of stuff, power poles. Things to help me build more factory, effectively. I'm not going to worry about that one. That one can stay down here. So there's another one after that, or rather before that we can do. And that is to simply Just do what's necessary to get rocket production up to a point where I can get science off planet. Martin asks, state machine? It's more of a programming term. So what state machine means in this particular instance is you perform actions based on the state or the mode. So, for example, within programming, let's think of something. A very simple one would be a state machine that reads whether your PC is in hibernation or whether it's fully active. When you hit a key on your keyboard, based on the state, that would be hibernating or active. It will either register a key press and write that to whatever window you've got open, or simply change the state of the machine to active if it was in hibernation. That's effectively what a state machine is. I could put it in a different context, like in a game context. I guess that might be a little bit more fitting. A state machine for a basic AI might be looking for patrolling or hunting. So if the AI for some random, generic cannon fodder NPC is patrolling, it's simply following its usual path. However, if something occurs in its environment to make it suspicious, like, I don't know, the person that it was patrolling with suddenly falling over with an arrow in its face, then it would switch to the hunting state, in which point it deviates from its patrol path and actively tries to investigate where the arrow came from. And of course, by that, I mean, it will stand there looking around for a little bit and then go, must have been the wind, and then it will continue with its patrol path. But that's what a state machine is. So within the context of the train system, a state machine would be, did this train just pull up to the station? Okay, well, it's currently in state unloading. Unload anything that shouldn't be in the train. Once that's complete, switch to state loading. Load what should be in the train, and then move on. It's a jerry rig. Okay, thank you very much. Jerry. Okay. Yeah. Hunting state transitions to must have been the wind state. Yep. Exactly. And the reason why I wanted this is because currently I don't allow my trains to load miscellaneous items from the depots, from the outpost rather, because it was causing juggling to occur. It would try to unload something, but at the same time it would be trying to load that thing, because it was trying to take away stuff it didn't need. Like, oh, there's an abundance of ammo over here for some reason. Let's redistribute that to the rest of the facility, because there's no reason for this one outpost to have 5,000 bullets when the outpost over there has got 2. Let's try and share the load. But the consequence of trying to load and unload at the same time is the logic was getting very confused, because in order to do that logic correctly, you kind of need to be reading the inventory of everything that's touching the ammo, including the inserters, any belts, so on and so forth, and that gets very messy. But a state machine will make it nice and easy. Train pulls in. First, unload the stuff that I want. Secondly, load the stuff that I don't want. Don't try to unload once I start to load. Distinct atomic states. I am unloading. I will complete that task in its entirety until I can unload nothing more. And then I will switch to loading. And at this point, I don't care if there's too much on there somehow. So maybe one of the inserters accidentally picked up 2 rounds of extra ammunition when it was loading it back in the train. And now I could technically afford to take 2 rounds of ammunition off the train, but I will not. I will let the train go, and then when it comes back, I will take the correct amount. So on, and indeed so forth. Fayan says, always pronounced it jury rig. Interesting. It doesn't really matter. We all know what it's saying. So those are the 3 things that we can do. It looks like we've almost got all of the mines deployed as well, which I'm actually kind of happy with. So, I'm going to give chat a poll. You may decide what we work on out of the 3 top to-do lists. State machine for loading and unloading, building basic infrastructure mall, or trying to get Gleben Science back up and running. Once that's done, when we come back, I'll work on that more than likely before, because this is going to take a while to complete. And then we will pick another item off the to-do list once that's done. Eventually, I will recreate this kind of defense down hither. And then probably hook up some mining as well. Hopefully the Stompers ignore mines, because they're really only going for the spores, but there's a chance that they will actually care. In which case, it would make more sense for me to deploy a stone quarry far from a farm, so that no Stompers proximate to that quarry are ever active. That would probably be a much cleverer idea. We can set up a little stone quarry. Yeah, that won't be a terrible one. I'll need to make an unloading area for stone, but that's fine. That shouldn't be too difficult of a task ultimately. Could maybe even fit it in down there. We are kind of shy on space, but it is what it is. How many iron chests do we have? We have an iron chest full of iron chests. I have, for the irony, considered making it a steel chest full of iron chests. Maybe I should make and grind up to a legendary steel chest containing only legendary iron chests. The only quality steel chest in the factory, and its purpose will be to contain the significantly more valuable iron chest. It's definitely something we could do. Okay, all right. I'm going to set up a poll, and then we're going to go on tea break. Next task will be we've got quite a limited character limit here. State machine for trains. Basic mall. Or agri-sci. There we are. Rockets and agri-sci. Okay, I'm going to be away for the next 10 minutes, so this is your chance to A, vote in the poll, which should be in front of your eyeballs now. And also, once you've done that, to get up and go and grab yourselves a drink and or stretch those very stiff legs of yours. When I return, we will do whatever you vote on. See you soon.